I think we're ready to talk some
do it.
spoilers, baby. Before we get to spoilers, though, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I mean, you're already commenting right now, but if you're watching this later, comment on this video. We will respond. So if you have any friends, if you have any enemies, if you have any frenemies, tell them about us, baby.
It never
there's
left.
some points with that, too, tonight that we'll get into in spoilers talk, which is going to happen in a 5, 4, 3. If you haven't seen the episode,
Turn away now.
Turn away now.
Avert your ears.
2, 1.
Everybody but one person dies.
Oh, wrong.
Oh man.
Well, that's what I said. Every time I do that, it's gonna be the
Spoil
opposite.
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
he did say that. I totally. I'm sorry.
He's gonna spoil what they can
messed that
spoil
up.
when it's time to spoil this stuff. Paz.
Yeah, Paz.
Paz, man.
Paz
He
was.
passed away.
Passed away. Oh no.
That's where you were going. Is that
I'm
where you
not
were
that
going?
smart.
Right?
He passed away, guys.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Paz is a has-been.
Now
but
every
he's not.
time,
He's
every time Ragnar hears somebody say "pass," he's gonna think of his dad and just start sobbing.
Like,
Aw.
Hey, could you pass the?
oh, wow.
Yeah.
They're gonna do a
That is-
spin-off written by Tony Gilroy about
Him just
Ragnar.
sulking.
Just Ragnar.
Oh god.
And then
Oh,
he's mad now about all the things that happened, and he just takes revenge on everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, I think it probably opens up the door for Din and Bo to adopt Ragnar.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because he'll be the brother of Grogu.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
That does make sense.
Everybody in the
That could
chat
happen.
is saying "Rest in peace, Ragnar," or rest in peace, Paz.
Ragnar
We
died
already
too.
killed him. He dies next episode.
Right.
We're ending the Vizsla line.
Right.
Oh,
This
don't
line
listen.
is gone.
Don't believe everything you hear on this show. Paz is dead, not Ragnar. But everybody's sad that Ragnar.
Yeah.
That was an
rest in
epic
peace.
moment. It was more epic because he didn't die at the hands of those, Iron Men.
Yeah.
Died at the hands
Right.
of
The Imperial-
Praetorian guards.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead. You guys.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was just going to
Uh-oh.
say that the.
I just have one. You rant on, and then I'll say something after you're done.
I wasn't
Yeah.
really going to rant.
Yeah.
I was just going to say it was crazy seeing the Imperial guards with their. Well, they were the Dark Trooper, right? 2.0 or something.
Yeah.
But it was just armor. It wasn't actually robots. They were actual
No, they were people.
which I thought was interesting because it was made out of full Beskar. And seeing seeing Moff Gideon full Beskar, that was pretty intimidating and pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
Too bad he didn't have the bright saber that we talked about.
Right. He's got the
Yeah,
opposite.
of the dark saber.
That would have
Yeah.
been pretty hilarious if he
We-
pulled that out.
We did
Yeah.
get to see the dark saber. That was cool being used in a very Jedi-ish kind of way.
Yeah.
But it didn't come in handy otherwise. So we'll get to that in the negatives. We're in the positives right now.
Yeah.
But,
Oh, are we?
well,
Are we?
We
we?
can do any.
Yeah.
We
we're
have
just
free
jumping
reign.
around. We're at the things that hit us in the face, right?
Yeah,
Some
that was
people-
the biggest moment of the episode.
John
and
Pope-
also the end.
Just so you know, for future, when you do start ranting, John Pope is on your side with the Praetorian Guards in the sequel trilogy.
Yes.
So we'll get there.
See, that's
when
what
we-
I was gonna. That's what
Yeah.
I thought
You wanna
were gonna,
rant?
You,
Do it.
You were gonna rant,
You want me ranting right
Yeah.
now about it?
and I'll add on after you're done.
All right.
Yeah.
So listen up. Okay. So they kill off Paz with the Praetorian Guards. I mean, what a way to go in some ways. That is trying to show how cool the Praetorian Guards are. But
Is he really dead?
Yeah. Oh, he's dead.
he's
He's gone. He got run through at least three
like
times.
3 times, yeah.
Well,
He should have killed one. That is also a
I
negative.
mean, yeah, a good point though, fact checker.
always.
Riva got stabbed twice with a
That's
lightsaber
true.
through the abdomen, and she still
And she
survived.
still survived.
Somehow.
What the
Yeah,
heck?
I'm just saying it's
Plot
Star
armor.
Wars. It's Star Wars.
It is
Yeah.
Star Wars. Paz might not be dead, although we did see him.
I think he's
flop
dead,
life.
though.
Continue ranting.
Yeah,
I'm
but
just glad that he didn't die like a punk with those Iron Men, the flying,
Right.
Beskar
See,
dudes.
okay, I'm going to interject here. I think I would have rather seen him die from those guys
If it
than the
means-
Praetorian Guard, because it's like, oh yeah, we just brought the Praetorian Guards in to connect it to the sequel trilogy, and it's like, why? Why did you need them? There was no reason to have them other than to kill Paz with them.
yeah,
Come on,
seriously.
that's stupid.
Right.
Get them out of here. Don't connect to the sequel trilogy. Nobody wants that crap.
Nobody does. That good. Yes. Start rant. Go.
No, that
now.
was
You were
it. That
doing
was what
good.
I was gonna add. It was just the dumbest way for him to die from something that's connected to the sequel trilogy
Yeah.
that we don't want.
Oh, perfect.
Perfect.
Exactly. No, and why lead to the sequel trilogy at all?
Yeah.
Because it's a failed property.
Yeah.
I mean, they started off strong, but not great. I mean, it was good. I made a crap ton of money, but it was diminishing returns after that.
It wasn't as much as they could have made.
Yeah, seriously. Instead of making half of what the first movie did on the third movie, it should have made like double or triple.
Yeah.
If they would have done the story correct, and everybody wanted to see it. But The Last Jedi screwed that up. And then the very last one was almost the worst of them all. But I have a theory in some ways. Okay, so
And Hux, but go ahead.
and Hux is
Yeah,
there.
and Hux. It's like, dude, no, steer clear of
But
that.
Hux
sequel
was in
trilogy.
a novel.
It was
I think,
in a
before.
novel, but that's still Disney. It's still
I know.
leading to the
They're
pre-
still
or the
tying it
sequels.
in. You know what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing. But there's a new movie coming out now. Just because the sequels as a whole were bleh, doesn't mean every piece of it was garbage, right?
Okay, Dan, get out. Get out.
Whoa!
I mean, there's some cool ships.
Yeah, I guess the
There's some cool-
cinematography was okay.
No,
Dan.
I'm talking
I'll
about-
give you that one.
Like, is it possible to go to any planet that they went to in the sequel trilogy, or are all those planets now like not cool?
It's
right?
tainted. It's
Yeah.
everything is
Okay.
tainted.
It's
I'm
like,
just
please
asking.
stay away from those planets.
No,
I mean,
I hear you. I hear
It's true.
ya.
When you have your toys and you want to play,
Yeah.
the ones that you didn't like that were in the, you throw those over to the side. Like
Yeah.
you still they're still there, but they're in the toy box buried, right?
But nobody wants to play with them.
Right, but you don't bring out the Praetorian Guard, the one that you'd never liked,
Right.
and then stab the one that's in the new, toy, the Paz toy.
Right.
Why would you do this?
If anything, they should have gone with just the straight royal guards.
Yeah.
Not the
Yeah.
Praetorian. I think they should. I know why they did it because they're connecting it, which is annoying.
Yeah.
But if they would have had like the royal guards that,
Yeah. Protect the emperor.
Papa Palps had, I think that would have been better because then you still could have been ambiguous. But they let off the entire show with saying
Yeah, they're
Hux.
like-
But that
yeah.
was pretty cool. But my theory, though, which is, I don't know, with a lot of the behind the scenes going on with Dave Filoni and stuff, because we've heard rumors, and they're rumors, so we don't know if it's true. But think about this. Paz is Dave Filoni, if you think about it, right? In this scenario.
John Favreau.
So, John Favreau. My bad. John Favreau is the one who's had problems behind the scenes. We've
Yeah.
heard rumors of. We're not sure. But think of it this way. So John Favreau is Paz Vizsla, and Disney is the Praetorian Guards.
Yep.
And John Favreau had
destroyed
his
him.
last stand against Disney and the sequel trilogy and lost and went
Right.
out guns a blazing.
Mhm.
What if that is John Favreau's sign off?
That's what he did. Yeah.
for the Mandalorian.
We'll see. And then that just begs the question, what's going to happen in future seasons,
Yeah.
Are they just going to do silly stuff like they did in the last week's episode?
I'm wondering. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
You know?
So then so what you're saying is the fact that they used the Praetorian Guards was a necessity.
No.
No,
For
it was
this-
a
for this
Disney
scene.
requirement.
It was a Disney necessity.
No,
Was it-
I'm talking for John to go out the way that he wants to
Yeah.
go out and show the signs that he wants to show.
Oh,
he had to
right.
use
He's
the
like,
Praetorian
look
Like
at
it's
Guards.
a subtle hint.
Look
to
at how they
fans.
massacred my boy.
He had to pull a toy out of that toy box and
Yeah.
bring it in for 5 seconds to be
Right.
like, look at this. I'm falling on my sword. I did everything I could.
I think
Yep.
that was the last episode and this episode. I mean, this
Could've
whole
been.
season it feels like it has like Disney meddling going on.
Yeah.
Like KK
Could be.
meddling going
Could be.
on.
But
And-
KK, yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, so it's
I
like,
still wish they took it in a completely different direction, but I think Ahsoka's going to go in a completely different direction. That's why it's called World Between Worlds, and
Yeah.
it's done.
Possibly.
Mandalorian got swept up because it was so successful. If it was medium successful or low successful, they could have probably stayed on their own track. But because it got successful and they're like, oh, this could be money.
right.
Then
and-
Disney's like, oh, money. We like money. And then
Yeah.
Lucasfilm was like, we need money.
Mhm.
Kathleen Kennedy's like, well, there's money involved, so I'll show up. You know,
right.
Right.
This is popular. Let me taint it and make it horrible.
John Pope says the 3 Praetorian Guards were played by Bob Iger, Kathleen Kennedy, and Leslie Headland.
Headland, yeah.
Yes.
And
That-
dude, it's so
yes.
funny too
We
because
should
I had that
we could
same
totally
thought
do a
when I was
short about
watching that. I was like, dude, it's Bob Iger and Kathleen Kennedy. At least those two were there.
Yeah.
They're killing it.
We could totally do a short and we put their faces
Right?
on them for
Yeah.
John Favreau
I mean,
going out.
There you go.
I
Stuff
wanted
writes
to see him
itself.
take off his helmet too. I wanted to see Paz take off his helmet and
Right.
see John Favreau.
Right.
I guess my question is, that would have been cool. Is John
Maybe they will. Maybe in the next one they catch up and they have like a burial for him or something.
Is
That'd be
Havoc in
cool.
the
I think
chat?
they'll leave his helmet on.
Is Havoc in the chat? Remember that? He was going to potentially go somewhere. And I want to see how he's feeling, but let's keep
Look,
talking.
Robert G said KK needs to join the cosmic forces. Ahem, ahem.
Oh, wow.
wow.
But
We don't wish any physical
Yeah,
harm.
we're not. inciting that.
All right, so
don't do
now
that.
that the rant is over, let's get back to the really good stuff about this episode.
Yes.
The stuff that's actually happened, not the theories. No, I'm kidding. But the stuff
Not
that
the
actually happened in
right.
this episode that was amazing because there
Yeah.
was some really cool stuff that
Yeah.
they
Yeah, let's hit
unlocked.
that.
They unlocked in the story with finally Moff Gideon showing up and that
Right.
really cool opening sequence. Not the opening sequence, the secondary opening sequence.
Yeah.
Not
With him
He-She
in
Blade
that.
Runner.
Yeah.
Right, with him in that really cool room. What'd you call that? What's the group of
Shadow
guys?
Council.
It was the Shadow,
Shadow
Council, which is
Council.
really
They
cool.
actually called it that in the
Yeah.
show.
I thought that was awesome. That
Right?
was really cool. That's
Mhm.
what I've been wanting to see this entire season.
Right? Where was it?
Yeah,
It was
what
the second to last episode.
Well, and
You know why? Because Disney's gonna push stuff down our throat.
yeah, exactly. Here, eat filler first before we give you anything that's good.
No,
Tasty.
please. I don't want it.
No, but that shadow. Sorry, Dan. I think you were going to go into that Shadow Council. You go ahead.
No, I wasn't. I was just saying the things that we got at the beginning. That was a really cool
Yeah.
opening sequence, and it stayed in there for a while. It wasn't like a 30-second scene. It was a multi-faceted conversation, like kind of like Andor, for example, where they were in the ISB room and they're just chatting, you know, and
Yeah.
they're like, we were like, where is he? Where's Moff Gideon right now? Where's he having this conversation from? You know, we were
Right.
curious. We're asking questions for the first time. Like, this is the scene that we wanted back in like episode 3 or 4
Yeah.
to give us the weight where everything's going. Like they could have easily done that right after that annoying Coruscant episode, and then just fed right into this, or just
Or just-
dovetailed that at the end of
Yeah.
that Coruscant.
Literally, like, compress the Coruscant
Yep.
episode
Yeah.
and then put it in there.
yeah,
wrap
put
it all
And we
up.
would have been like, that was the greatest episode
Right.
ever.
Right, because they
wrap
could
it
have
all
shown
up.
her at the very end after she mind flared him. Like that could have
Yeah.
been him talking.
It could have been
specifically.
literally 10 minutes of that whole episode.
right.
And it would have just,
Yeah,
explained it just as much as it did through the whole episode.
yeah. Good
Yeah.
point. Yeah, I know
Yeah.
they really needed to condense that down. It was unnecessary.
Good.
I really think
They were
there's going to be a
Drinking
great
photon
fan
fizzles.
Edit. Yeah, what was it? Photon fizzles.
Photon
What
fizzles.
did I call it yesterday? Fizzle drips or something.
Fizzle
like
drips.
Fizzle
Fizzle-
sizzles.
Fizzle sizzles.
Something like
Maybe
that.
fizzle drips.
Fizzle drizzles. That's what it was.
Yeah, fizzle drizzles.
Yeah.
That sounds weird.
Yeah.
No, but Nick, you got more to say?
Nope. The camera's just on me. Dan, I don't know what you're doing over there, but take it off. There you go.
Oh, and Matt has
What do you
something
think
to
about
say.
that, Matt?
I loved it.
Oh, good point, Matt.
Oh, shoot.
Pay no attention to Dustin.
yeah. Right.
Oh,
Nick.
my goodness.
Oh no, but that opening scene was awesome. They definitely needed to have it earlier on, and they
Yeah.
didn't even have to drop Thrawn's name. They could have saved that for later.
Okay.
But that was awesome. I did like that.
I thought he was going to show up
I was wondering.
because he was like, there was an empty spot, and I was like, he was just going to show up and
I thought
tell
so,
Moff
too.
Gideon off. And I
Yeah.
was like,
Stick to the plan, Moff.
seriously, like, why didn't you do that?
That would have been
You
epic.
know?
I wanted that too. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. That would have been really cool.
But I love seeing Pelion.
Yeah.
Captain Pelion, dude. That is straight from the Thrawn trilogy, man.
Yeah.
I love seeing Captain Pelion there, man. He is such a huge part of the Thrawn trilogy, and he's like a likable villain in some ways. Like
Mhm.
you understand more about him even by the end. And in Legends content, there's more that happens with him that I find fascinating as well. If they were to lean into it, which I don't think they are. But that was really exciting to me. Just that part.
Yeah.
But the dialogue between all of the different like shadow remnants definitely felt very Imperial.
Yeah.
It was a little stage play in some ways with
Right.
the acting, but it still fit.
Yeah, it wasn't like out of left field, like, okay, who's that character?
Right.
That
right.
doesn't belong there. Jack Black.
yeah, we had a question we're gonna have to get to in a minute about what do we think is gonna happen in episode 8. We'll save that Dark Lord 2758 for just a little bit here. We'll
Yeah.
come back to the predictions, but we can lean into that right now because the Armorer was awfully sus.
Yeah,
Yes.
and a lot of
We-
people in the
this
comments
is-
and people have been suspecting
guessing,
that.
yeah.
We have
Yeah.
been too.
So is this the first? Is this the first real hint at subterfuge by
I
the
think so.
Armorer?
Yeah.
There's multiple clues.
Other,
Do
like,
it.
I mean,
Do it.
why else would they lead it off like that, you know?
Yeah.
Because it shows her
Right.
going to the ship, and then it doesn't show her again. And then suddenly Moff Gideon's there.
Yeah.
And it's like, I feel like this was a setup.
Yeah, like she warned him that they were coming.
There was cheese, and the mouse fell for it.
Yeah. It definitely makes you think like earlier on, like if she
was
the
telling
evil
him.
music
Well, I mean, even
with Bo.
Gideon was saying that he like is like almost 100% sure that they're going to take back Mandalore. How else would he have known that?
Yeah.
You know?
That's a good
She's
point.
probably feeding him information.
Well, the she said it to
Yeah, but she doesn't count.
well, yeah, but I'm just saying that's where they surmise it, and he was able to
Yeah.
use that angle
Yeah.
for convincing the rest of the Shadow Council.
For me, it's a perfect example of a cult leader leading their flock astray.
Yep.
And it would fit in things that we understand about those types of, people get so passionately and they defend something to their death, only to realize that the person that was leading them was the evil villain in the first place, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So that would be completely welcome because there were thoughts that, they talked about Death Watch. We've asked this. It's never really been fully fleshed out, right?
Yeah.
What's
right.
up with Death Watch? Death Watch is done. These are the children of the Watch. Does that mean they're the
right.
she
And
said
she even
that in
made a
this
point to
episode.
say it. Yeah.
Does that mean they're the children of Death Watch? Is that what they really are?
Or a sect
Or
of
a sect
Death Watch.
of Death Watch. Like she said, "Oh, Death Watch is all spread out now, but except for you,
into different war
here you are."
factions.
And
Right.
she's leading this group, and she made like hard, fast rules because they were already along those lines of like, well, keep the helmet on, do this sort of stuff. And now here she is, kind of being exposed, at least to us as the viewer, maybe that she knew stuff that was going on. Maybe that would explain why they kind of weren't the best group, right? There was some things like, why don't they have any ships?
Ooh, and
Why is this
Right.
going on? Maybe if we look back, there's more answers that we can find. She was so mean to Din because she wanted to kill him off. I don't know.
Right.
She was causing problems for her boss man.
Yeah, it could have been. And then what also I just realized in the season 1,
Mhm.
I mean, she took out a bunch of the Imperials, but like most of the culvert was killed, right?
Yeah.
See,
was
I already
she the
made
one-
this. I already made this.
Did you already
connection.
say that?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
All that armor,
Yeah,
and they were all dead, and she was alive. And I'm like, what if she's working for the Empire?
right. Then why did they show that scene of her fighting them, the Imperials?
She's trying to fit in.
Right.
She's got to be,
Yeah.
She can't be
I don't know.
completely
Well, I mean,
called out.
you got to think about it. She wasn't fighting the Imperials in this episode.
No, I
She
know.
left before that.
I meant in season, they showed her fighting Imperials in season 1.
She's got to fit in, dude.
Yeah.
Deep
I
cover.
think her job was to keep the Mandalorians as divided as possible and as far away as possible.
Right.
And she was totally fine with that because she liked having control over them. And she was, working for Moff Gideon, but not in a way that like she had to really do anything for him.
Well-
She just kind of was living her life, and maybe she made some agreement that he would let them go when the Night of 1,000 Tears happened,
What if?
and
yeah.
therefore she was able to survive. But their rule was she has to keep them away from any of this.
Yeah.
Right.
And then Din shows up and causes, or Din was always a part of it, but then Moff Gideon tried to finish him off in season 1. He thought he did finish him off in season 1, and
Mm-hmm.
so it's it's just kind of like he keeps busting Moff Gideon's plans. Din keeps
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
the thorn in his
if
side.
that's the
in a lot
case,
of
that's
ways.
really good story writing. Actually, that's really good.
Yeah, then also earlier in this season, there was even that moment where they had like definitely evil music playing whenever she's
Yeah.
telling Bo to take off her helmet.
Right.
Like
There was
that
a
interesting.
part in the score in this episode where the music changed when she
Yeah.
was like, "Yeah, I'm going to take them back to the ship."
Yeah, and
Yeah.
she's never gone with them on a mission like this.
Right.
So that was
was
another-
also strange.
that was also strange because she always stayed with the culvert before this.
yeah.
I guess she did kind of attack, but they all went. The whole entire culvert went.
Yeah.
So that makes sense that she went with them, but that she's not. I kept expecting.
I mean, they could still play it where she's not the villain.
Yeah,
right?
we're probably-
guessing.
But that's like the biggest redirect I've
Yeah.
ever seen in cinema history.
Secret Songs 20
The
actually
biggest red herring.
says the armorer is not the traitor. Why would she welcome Bo and encourage the reunion of the two clans? If,
Well, okay, you see the end of the episode when they caught all those Mandalorians? That's why. So they could kill them.
kill them, and take their Beskar.
Yeah. What if the armor made the Imperial Beskar armor?
Yeah, that's a good point.
she's been working at the forge all this time.
This time, but the other clue in some ways was that she has horns on her helmet.
Yeah.
and so
and
did Moff Gideon.
has horns on
And
his
those
helmet.
the ones that were on his reminded me of some in the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
that were definitely loyal to Maul.
Yep.
The Maul ones. The one it was
The
it Gar Saxon?
Mandalorians. Yeah.
It was like Gar
Gar
Saxon had
Saxon,
a helmet
yeah.
that was really similar to that in
Mhm.
the Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm.
So that was interesting. The helmet with the spikes on it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Spiky
I
helmet.
see Jane Doe says that it's a red herring because she said that Axe Wolves technically left too to get reinforcements.
Oh, that's
so
true.
there could be a
Yeah, but they
on
were
both
already
sides.
they were already ambushed at that point.
Yeah, but he
So-
didn't get shot flying away.
They were shooting at him though.
Barely. No, I don't
So
know.
what you're
That
what
could be a red herring too.
whoever
Who
said
knows?
that
Right.
there's a mole in both groups? Is that what you're saying?
There could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, there could be.
Because
a
they're
mole.
both Mandalorians, and Moff Gideon obviously had a whole stinking thing going on Mandalore,
Yeah.
right.
and apparently that or whatever droid scanned the planet and like found no remnants of any. I
Yeah.
guess they
Right?
went to a totally different part, and I mean
Must
it's
have,
kind of
yeah.
funny actually. There was no sign, nobody had any idea. And they scanned it and everything was good, but he's there. And so maybe he knew he was good because he had the armor on his side and he has axe. So he's like the two most active
Right.
groups of Mandos. I got them under control.
There you
Right,
go.
and the bow just keeps.
So
you know,
he wasn't
fighting
even
to take
worried
control.
at the end of
Mhm.
season 2, because she didn't kill him or they didn't kill Moff Gideon. He's like, you're screwed. Because he was very
Right.
confident at the end of season 2.
Yeah, he still was.
He was like,
he had aces
I
up
got
his
so
sleeve.
much going on. You guys don't even
Right.
know.
You don't even
Right.
know, man. Ooh.
Well, and he's got reinforcements now. We know with the whole
Yeah.
Shadow Council. I mean, they're giving him like awesome resources.
Yeah.
TIE interceptors. So that means that squad that attacked Bo and bombed her
Yep,
house
it
was
was
definitely
him.
his.
Robert
That he got from Thrawn / Pelion and Hux.
Yeah.
Robert G said it's misdirection for this exact conversation to
It could
occur.
be.
Yeah.
It definitely could be.
She's what they want.
They
And
got
for
us
the
all
rest-
figured out.
For the rest of the season's plot, it kind of seems like it like we're overanalyzing it.
Yeah.
That
What if
nothing else
all
is
these
really
things come up that they just started all these new
been- right
plot threads and
in
then-
episode 7,
Episode
the
Right,
seven.
yeah.
very end, practically.
I mean,
Wow.
they have to tie in. We got to get into 8 theories sometime tonight because
Yeah.
holy
There's
smokes.
still a lot that happened in
But
this
there's a
episode.
lot in this episode
Right.
that happened. What did you guys think about
The pledge.
the pledge between?
Oh, you talking about
Din-
Dinbo?
Oh, yeah.
Dinbo.
Let's talk Dinbo.
Let's talk that. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Like what I said in those non-spoilers, it was like
It was.
we were so close.
We were this
like
close.
he said everything else. He was like basically pledging his undying love to her, but not
Right.
saying that. It was
Yeah.
like, I will follow you, basically
to the ends,
of
the
what,
galaxy.
What did he say? What was the
He
actual?
said, I don't even remember word for word.
Well, because he said he doesn't give a crap about the Darksaber.
your song hasn't been written yet.
Yeah,
Something like that. Yeah.
He's like, I will write it.
the
with
chat
you."
will tell us. The chat will tell us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, it's right here. I got it right here.
All
Let's
right, do
consult the timeline.
consult the
Consulting
timeline.
the timeline.
Consult the timeline.
Whoop.
Right here,
Oh.
John Pope said, "New pickup line. Your song isn't written yet.
Yeah.
I'll follow you until that happens."
Follow you until that
Boom.
happens.
That's good.
Yes.
That's good.
I like
That's
it.
pretty much him saying, I love you.
Yeah,
That's as close as you get. It
Yeah.
wasn't very romantic. It felt like it could have been.
Yeah.
It
could
did
have
feel
been.
like they were-
needed to take one more step.
It was almost
Mhm.
like Titanic-y, right? Where the ship was sailing, you could hear the breeze. It was
Right.
calm. She's just gazing out into the distance.
Yeah. And then
And
they
then-
hit an iceberg.
And then they hit an iceberg, pretty much, actually, right after that. But
Yeah.
then Din kind of walks up. He was out of focus, right? And you're like, who's that mysterious guy coming
Yeah.
up?
Right.
We knew it was.
And it was
Oh,
obviously
it's
Din. And then, but it could have been somebody else. Could have been Axe. It could have been somebody else coming to talk to her.
Yeah, but
But it was Din.
It wouldn't have been as meaningful if it was somebody else.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, and it was just interesting too how they keep reaffirming between the two of them because in the last episode, she just called out all the other Mandalorians like he's just as Mandalorian as anybody else. Like,
Mhm.
so
Yeah.
he was she was talking him up in the last episode,
Yeah.
and then this one he kind of returns the favor.
He's trying to rebuild her confidence.
Right, he's rebuilding her confidence,
Yeah.
especially after what she admitted. That was a big.
Yeah.
We didn't know that. That was interesting that she
Mhm.
actually
Surrendered.
surrendered. So what happened there was what she surrendered before they did the Night of 1,000 Tears.
Oh, man, that was heavy. Yeah.
Is that what I was
Yes.
a little confused there?
Chat can confirm, but I believe she was surrendering to save her people.
Yeah.
She
And
knew
they were
that
going to
the-
be spared.
They were
and
going to be
then-
spared according to Moff Gideon.
Yeah. But he lied.
And then he double crossed.
And he double crossed her. So she got double whammied.
And then she left.
Because Mandalorians don't admit defeat, right?
Well, they usually don't.
So she
it's
admitted
usually the
defeat.
strongest rules until the death, practically.
So the problem is she double dipped, right? She admitted
Yeah.
defeat, thinking that would save her people. And then by admitting defeat, she lost some respect. And then they got destroyed anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
So if they had fought to the death, maybe they would have had a chance. They probably wouldn't have.
No.
but they would have had their honor.
Well, she
And
said
so
her
she felt disgraced.
right, and she said that their entire fleet was already decimated at
Yeah.
that point, basically.
Yeah.
But man, that's rough, dude.
Yeah,
That's rough.
but this is what we were talking about last night, that they needed a heart-to-heart. We needed to get this
Yeah.
moment. It was good that she said it in front of all of them. We wish she could have cried it out right on Din's shoulder
Right.
alone.
Right.
But clearly, in a galaxy far, far away, it's hard to find some alone time in these
Yeah.
places.
Right.
Even though they're on the ship the whole
even,
way.
even the chat said, Lady Amidala said, to be fair, they were in front of the other Mandalorians.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Yeah,
there
that's
wasn't
what I
much
mean.
privacy.
And she's
Exactly.
technically trying to lead at this point, so to show
She
weakness
can't
like
show
that
weakness.
after
Yeah.
she just admitted a huge weakness in some ways.
That's
I
where-
could see why she didn't
I was
Yeah.
rooting for Din. That's where I was happy for him, because he came up behind her. He could have
stab
maybe
her.
no.
Stabbed her.
Just joking.
He
You've
could've-
disgraced your
betrayal.
entire line. Stab.
He could have
This is the
maybe
way.
maybe it would have, if it could have been more romantic, but he put his hand on her shoulder or something that may have
I thought you
disgraced her.
I thought you meant if he stabbed her. I was like, how would that be more romantic?
Why
Dan?
why is Din stabbing her?
Right?
I'm
But
just
she
kidding.
was last
Stab.
night. It was her stabbing him. Tonight it's him stabbing her.
Right.
Yeah.
No, nobody's getting stabbed. All right.
No, it's all good. So, but what I'm saying
Goodness.
is that he respected her position as the leader. Just before this, he gave her the Darksaber, so she's in
Yeah.
charge.
Right.
He gave that up. We can argue about
Yeah.
whether or not that
Well,
should have happened.
yeah.
He didn't want to be the leader.
But he didn't
anyway,
want to be
so
the leader,
it
right?
works.
And then,
Yeah.
but he doubled down in this moment, and he actually had a heart-to-heart with her, not in front of a bunch of people in daylight. It was actually quiet-ish, even though there were other people around, and he
Yeah.
explained to her, "Look, I pledge to follow you, and I'm, basically happy for you. Your song isn't written yet. I'll follow it until that happens."
Yeah,
Yeah.
but again, even like you were saying earlier, it almost seemed like we were almost going away from the love story there.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was more like just a follower, like
Right.
a fanatic follower.
But how I'm
Instead of, like-
rationalizing that is because of her station in that spot. If they were truly alone, maybe he could have
There might be
interacted differently. And
Yeah.
I think they're going to save that for the next episode, because then we can see some emotion on his face when he takes the helmet off and they look at each other in the eyes for the
Right,
first time.
Yeah.
Right, because
Or Moff takes it off for
because
her.
yeah,
Or
they could
Moff takes
disgrace
it
him.
off.
That's what the chat said.
That would
Yeah,
make sense.
Moff
Chad.
takes
I
it
think
off.
that's what's
We're on
going
the
to
same
happen.
page
And then
there.
she comes in to save him because she's not giving up on him, because he's now doubled down to pledge himself to her.
Yeah.
And I think that was pretty much like, "Hey, will you marry me?" kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, you marry me.
practically.
This
is
And
a
that's whenever
marriage.
the mythosaur pops out of the water and says, "Marriage."
Marriage is what brings
And
us
that's
together.
and they're on the ship and the
today.
captain marries them.
Right? Oh my god.
Oh,
That's-
wow.
Captains can marry.
That's true.
Technically, the captain of a ship can marry you at
Yeah.
sea.
The chat also said the champagne from
Yes.
Oh,
It's for them.
I want that bottle.
Navarro.
That thing is sweet, actually.
That was sweet looking.
It was.
That's right. So they got their honeymoon champagne. They got that ship is no more. That thing got destroyed, but
That thing was pretty cool. I like that. I like
Right.
the look, and I even like those Mandalorians that they brought in. I am totally cool with bringing in as many
Right.
fluffing Mandalorians as possible in the show. That's what it's called, the Mandalorian. But bring them all in, baby.
Bring them all in.
That was awesome. They were like Mad Max. Didn't you like
yeah,
that?
Yeah. That was cool.
The
we
look
didn't,
of those
we didn't know
dudes.
who that was going to be. We were like,
Yeah.
is this just some random like people who got trapped here on the
Yeah.
planet or
And
something?
it was. They were the true Mandalorians.
Yeah.
Where were they a couple episodes ago? you know,
Right.
in some ways. You think they would have found them scanned for life,
Yeah.
you know?
Exactly. Like, did it not reach the whole planet?
Maybe not. I
Just
don't
maybe
know.
a section of it?
Yeah, it was kind of weird.
Don't know.
well, and did
Plot.
they not know about Moff being there? I mean, they'd been traveling
Yeah.
around.
Yeah, that,
Right,
that,
they're like,
What's that noise?
that Imperial
ship
base
is-
has been there
That-
probably
that's a
right
good point.
after.
That's a
you-
really good
You
The
point.
had
Night of a
TIE
Thousand
interceptors
Tears.
flying around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're like, "Wah!" You know, the TIE interceptors. Yeah, that's a better version. Like, what is that? Oh, just a creature from the deep.
That's a mosquito. A large mosquito.
Yeah, that was some interesting. Yeah, like how did they miss that? Unless
Yeah.
they're working for,
Or they had,
they're the spies.
They're the
or
spies.
the
Everybody's
Imperial
a spy.
base. Imperial base had scramblers,
Yeah,
so it couldn't detect them.
Well, and they had primitive stuff they were working with. They had like wooden things,
ships.
Wooden
but
ships.
that were awfully explosive.
yeah.
Yeah,
When that
I don't know
monster
what they
came
were
out,
filled with.
They were filled with helium or something, and they just went kaboom.
yeah. Who else thought that was going to be the mythosaur coming out of that?
Right. it looked like one, and then we saw the face, and we're like, I don't think that
Yeah,
was.
it definitely wasn't. But I was like,
I don't-
why? Why are they showing this other giant creature?
Why are you introducing a creature the second to last episode of this season?
Well, and like the
Come on,
Mandalore
man.
is known for the mythosaurs, not this other giant beast. Like
But she said there was all
they're-
kinds of things
yeah,
spawned off that
dormant,
survived.
dormant
she was
species.
talking about the mythosaur.
Jonah Serrato said, not going to lie, I was freaking out because I thought the monster was the mythosaur. So
Yeah.
were we. We
That
were
would have
like,
been nuts.
it's the.
Yeah, that's what we were like. We were all like,
not.
Yeah, and then it wasn't, and we were like, oh,
speaking of
let
that,
down.
yeah. Speaking of that scene, though, I was like, that's the part where I was like, that is a lot of money because that whatever tentacle arm thing came down and smashed their boat,
Yeah,
their Mad Max boat, and it
Explosions.
was like they're all like abandoned ship. That was pretty cool, actually. I like that, and
Yeah.
how they were talking in like ship terms.
Right,
Off
the starboard bow.
Yeah, I actually liked that. I thought that was pretty cool.
Right.
But then when they were all flying, and then the ship became a giant bomb for some reason, Dan, and it blew up, and then there was just Mandalorians flying everywhere. There was like explosions, and
Yeah,
they were all
extras,
landing
yeah.
and trying to regroup. I was like, dang,
Mhm.
that's pretty epic right there.
Right.
I want to see that. Like, that reminded me in some ways of Clone Wars when Obi-Wan went and there was that big battle and like the door opens. You remember that? They had that for like promotional material for Clone Wars.
Oh, yeah.
When he goes back to Mandalore with, I think, Bo-Katan to
Yeah.
save Satine.
Right.
And like the
I'm just
door
trying to remember what
opens
episode.
and he's like in front of the door and the door opens and then you just see like this crazy battle going on with
Oh,
Mandalorians
yeah. Okay,
flying
now,
around.
yeah.
There's explosions
I
everywhere.
remember it now.
It kind of reminded me of that, and that's the kind of like level of intensity and action I want to see in this
Right.
series. That was a huge bonus for me. And then even going straight from there into an ambush, like yes, keep the punches coming, baby.
Right.
I was loving the action in this.
Yeah, there was some good physical action going on. They really choreographed a lot of stuff here.
Yeah,
They all had to do some fighting, and for once, you know, instead of fighting some giant creature, I mean, they still had a creature, but at least they didn't try to shoot it. They're like, we learned our lesson, run and hide in the cave.
right. Yeah, why
That-
didn't you do that earlier?
I know that unfortunately, conveniently took him right to Moff Gideon's base. Oh no, it took him
Right.
to the forge, but took him right
Yeah.
to Moff Gideon's
It's like
base.
right next to it.
Right.
It was a little convenient because
Which-
they were driving right past it, and then there's this monster, and then they just kept driving right at the monster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then the monster blew it up, and then they got off, and he just happened to be at the stop that they
Hey,
needed
this
to-
is our stop anyway.
Oh, this is our stop. So just keep driving. We'll jump off when he gets
Right.
when he blows up the ship.
Tuck and roll,
Tuck and
baby.
roll.
Tuck and roll. Yeah, but it was like that's also another red flag with those guys that were on Mandalore for the fact that they knew where the forge was, but they didn't know that Moff Gideon had set up.
See,
a
I
base
wonder
there.
if they just remembered where it was, geographically speaking.
Right.
And we're never went there.
That's true because they did say they just kept fleeing the planet, basically avoiding the bombs to
Yeah.
stay alive.
Migrating.
So
and,
they might.
and maybe
surface.
maybe they knew there was like a for sure entrance to the thing, and
Mhm.
they just happened to find this other one when they got
Yeah.
thrown off or jumped off. Yeah, I
That's
mean,
actually like the third time that's happened. They just haven't learned their lesson. The
Yeah.
creature just keeps smashing them.
right.
Like
Ah,
maybe
we
if we're
gotta
going
build-
fast enough, we can go by them.
that
They'll
has-
never notice.
That has never worked.
Right.
I don't
We've
know.
lost 10 crews to this monster.
Yeah, to this monster and the mythosaur. They're gonna ride the mythosaur at the end to defeat Moff Gideon,
Yeah.
and he's gonna fight that other creature.
It's going to be
And
a
it's gonna
parallel.
become-
Moff Gideon's going to be on that other creature,
Yeah,
and then Din's going to be on the mythosaur.
with Bo.
Yeah,
no,
with
I think
Bo.
you're right because think of rewind to Rebels
Yeah.
finale or close to finale when
That was
Thrawn
the
had him completely surrounded on that planet,
Yeah.
and Ezra and Kanan were
Yeah.
talking to the Bendu, and they
I
were
am the
totally
Bendu.
down and out on that. There was like, okay, this is the end. And then
Mhm.
all of a sudden, the Bendu shows up and all the other creatures, and the creatures all fought for the good guys,
Yep.
or at least the Empire didn't know what to do with them. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So that mythosaur comes out because Bo knows that it's there. So I think you're right. I think they're going to go down into the mines. They're going to grab that mythosaur, and they're going to come up and they're going to fight this stuff, and they're going to save
And
Din
then-
and ride off into the sunset like we said.
Yep, and then Moff Gideon says, "What a mistake I've made."
Happy ending.
That was
Oh, my
terrible.
goodness.
As he's about to be eaten by the mythosaur.
Right.
This is a horrible mistake.
Oh, man.
What a terrible mistake.
That was
I've
terrible.
made.
Yeah, good points. I
Yeah.
mean, man, what fun speculation even in this episode. I'm loving it. The only thing, though, okay, I'm going to jump to a negative here because it definitely feels like Din's been sidelined.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say it now. He is definitely not the protagonist of this show at this point.
He's the
He is, but he
subtagonist.
And I didn't like the fact that he was the only one that got captured.
Yeah.
I mean,
Everybody else died.
I don't know.
There were 4 of them.
I'm okay.
I feel like
some ways, but
I feel like if he was going to get captured, he should have been completely knocked out.
right,
Like
yeah,
he's not going to stop.
and he should have done something to like.
Whistling birds, man.
Yeah,
Where were
what
the
the heck?
Right? Where's his whistling
Like,
birds at?
take his weapons off.
Come on.
Wait, no, Mando.
Disarm him.
Shoot the weapons before they can get you. Like he should have expelled everything that he had before he can be taken into custody.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
he was still just kind of like. I don't.
Yeah.
kinda
Also,
It was
why?
weak sauce, dude. He was.
Yeah, I was like, come on, Mando. You got your chick on the other side. You got your baby on the other side
Right.
in Mech IG-12. You got Paz here
Yeah.
who's about to give up everything for you. Let's see you go out like a hero. And
It
then
should
he's
have been
like,
like- It should have been like a freaking rocket blast, like blew him up like farther away and got knocked out, like you're saying.
Yeah.
And then he got carried off.
or like
Yeah.
you don't know if he's dead, you know, or he goes off the edge of the cliff, or I don't know, something, you know.
Right? Yeah. Like
oh no,
that would
there's-
have been a good
there's-
cliffhanger.
Right.
Literally, there's no more Din, you know, and they're like, we got to get out of here because he's coming to get us, you know, and then she uses the darksaber.
Yeah.
I just it
And
felt
then
like-
Also,
that's
why
when
is-
that pulls out the emotion for her too, because if he falls off and he doesn't have like his jetpack, or it's like sputtering,
Right.
or it gets damaged before that, and he falls off the cliff, and she cries out in like anguish in some ways,
Yeah.
showing her affection for him. So we get that Dimbo moment,
Yeah.
and it leaves us on that cliffhanger, like, and then that's why Paz is like fighting to stay behind to keep them all alive.
because they're all
type
afraid
situation.
that Din got killed. And
Yeah.
then now they're all full on like, we gotta go. But we could see him as the crowd like fall and land on a ledge or something, and he gets captured. You know, we could
Right.
see that, but they don't need to see that
I don't think you need to show that in this
Yeah.
episode. I think you
Yeah, and
Just
you
cut to
back
black.
up.
because then
And
that makes
one-
Din still a hero, right? He went out, he gave it everything he had,
Right, and that's why it felt so cheap. In
Not
some
just
ways.
kind of like kicked over to the side. He's like, well, I kind of wrapped up. He's like, you guys go take care of yourself. Paz, I hope you survive.
Yeah.
Uh,
Paz, I'll see you later.
He's like,
Definitely, for
I'll
sure.
be fine, guys. I'll be fine.
Out of everybody, 100%, I will see you again.
Don't Paz away.
Don't pass away, Paz.
Would anyone
Ooh.
like some Pez?
Yeah, Paz.
To Cannibal.
Yeah, go ahead.
Said the only reason why he thinks Din was captured was because Moff Gideon recognized that it's Din that is a real danger to him, not Bo-Katan.
Ooh, that's a good point. That's a
Because
good
he
take.
screwed
True.
Bo-Katan already. He's like, he knows how to manage her.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying. He knows how to tell her
He can
lies.
buy her off.
She'll believe him.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. And now that
Right.
she's got the darksaber, she's not going to sacrifice herself because now she's the actual leader. Why would she? Why would the king run into the battle and
Yeah.
give up for some other Mandalorian dude?
Right.
Yeah, and Hannah said if Din expelled everything, he wouldn't be able to recover it and use it to help his escape. So he at least has some weapons, maybe to MacGyver
Yeah.
his way out.
MacGyver. He's going to have to MacGyver. I hope he can MacGyver. Is he going to be MacGyvered or is he going to be Disney princess saved?
He's like, help me. I'm a damsel in distress.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to
Yeah.
conclude it. That's
I
the
don't know
thing.
either.
It's kind of confusing. Is he
Or
going to be the
both.
one to ride the Mythosaur, or is Bo, girl boss, going to have to save him?
Girl
you know
boss.
what I mean? And he's
I
like
think-
just the damsel in
I
distress.
think at this point he's the damsel in distress. She's going to get
Yeah.
on the Mythosaur and save him. If we do that, then that's
they're doing him dirty that, way.
that feels
in
like
my
he's
opinion.
getting a little shoved aside. I mean, he's already been aside, but
He's weak.
he had some moments, right? He's supporting his chick, and maybe
Well,
that's the strongest thing he can do right now.
Yeah, but that just feels like a complete bait and switch. Okay,
Yeah.
at this point, like that is a full bait and switch right there. You lure us in with the main character that we've had the last 2 seasons, the male character, okay, and then slowly throughout this whole season,
It's
they're switching it
Yeah.
to Bo, and now she's the girl boss. But it still takes the main male character to prop up the female character. At least in this situation, there's some lore established. But if you look at a lot of Marvel movies that have come out in the past, it is all bait and switch. Like case in point was Doctor Strange. I mean, Doctor Strange was not the main character of his own movie. It was about that one chick.
Which Doctor Strange are we talking
The
about?
second one. The second one. The
the
original one. The
Multiverse
first
of
one.
Madness?
Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
It was definitely
It was
like a
about
bait and switch.
Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, it was about Scarlet Witch,
Yeah.
and it was about that other chick.
Oh yeah, America.
American Ferrera,
No,
wasn't it? That's her name in real life, isn't it?
no,
Oh.
it's America.
Chavez.
Yeah,
Chavez. I'm sorry.
that's what it is.
Ferrera, I think, is one. of her
Ferrero
names in real
Rocher.
life.
That's chocolate.
Ooh, that makes me want chocolate.
I like chocolate.
But that's what. That's why it feels like the bait and switch. That's why, like, it's like Marvel and Disney's like MO right now.
Right.
Like, and if you looked at all the things coming out through Celebration, it's all female led.
Mhm.
Right? Was there anything other than Andor in some ways?
Skeleton Crew.
That's true.
Yeah.
Skeleton Crew. Okay.
But Skeleton Crew's kids.
But we don't-
It's
We don't
kids.
even
kids,
have.
though.
Yeah, but we don't even have a trailer for that, anyways.
No, I don't think they've.
Because I think
released
it's being
Yeah.
pushed aside. Right, Matt? Pushed aside. Man, he's so stoic.
He's just like the Mandalorian show. He's
Right.
just right there on the sidelines,
Yeah.
just waiting to have something to do. He's like, "You guys, give me a moment,
Right.
please."
Right.
Yeah.
So the only like saving grace to that in some ways is at least Bo has been set up in canon and she already has been a ruler. So
Yeah.
in some
makes
ways I'm
sense.
not as annoyed, but I'm still quite annoyed.
Because
just
it's
for the
this
fact-
show, right?
It's
Yeah.
because, yeah.
she should have had her
the
own
main character of the show should be the same character throughout.
Like they could have not had Mando fall into all of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's 3 seasons in. How do you make him grow? But if leading him into the future is not letting him grow and show his own stuff, right? Take a
Right.
back seat for a season, then I don't think that's the direction you should go. We want to build the universe out, but not at the expense of our protagonist.
yeah.
From
Exactly.
what we've come to love. We want to see Bo-Katan be a superhero and take over Mandalore.
Right.
But we also want to see Mando become a boss Mando, the best whatever he can be.
Right. Why
You know?
not do both? You know what I
And
mean? You can have both.
unless the key to unlock all of it for us was the relationship between Bo and Din.
Right.
Because that
Yeah.
key is what unlocks their future together, which then allows him to serve her in a way as a Mandalorian serves another Mandalorian leader. Also, from a relationship standpoint, guy to girl,
Mhm.
we can dig that because we need that in Star Wars too.
Yeah.
Right.
So if they took us that way, right? Isn't that the get out of jail free card? If all of this can wrap up in that way, maybe not fully get out of jail, but
Yeah.
partially
Right. It'd help.
MacGyver out of jail.
It would help. I mean, but
That's
there's
what
got-
I've been putting this on. Right?
But there's going to have to be mutual respect there. Like, and so far, just knowing Disney, they're not going to do that.
No.
They're going to prop her up and not him.
Yeah.
And they've already done that. So even if we get the relationship aspect, it still feels like he's going to be the side character to his own show to Bo. You know what I mean?
Right.
Is that kind of what you're saying, Dan, or not really?
Yeah, no, I am. I'm just
Okay.
saying, like, I'm still not fully. If they can resolve some kind of Dinbo thing,
Yeah.
then I will allow them to have set aside Din a little bit this season.
But then they better have something to redeem it next season.
Right, that's what I mean. Then they come back for the 4th and final season, and Din is like riding the Mythosaur. They're sharing the Darksaber or whatever. You know, he's leading
Right.
his group, and she's still able to lead her group. The problem is, like you said, Disney or Lucasfilm doesn't quite know how to let the dude lead and
Right.
also let the woman lead and have her moment. It has to be one or the other. And lately, in the last 10 years, 15 years, it's the gal leads the whole thing.
Right.
At the
Right.
expense of the dude, right? The
Yeah,
dude
that's the
can't
problem.
support the lady. She's got to be just way better than the guy, and then he has to just fall in line
And do no wrong,
shut his mouth.
practically. Yeah.
But I'm not saying that that's what they're doing here. I'm just saying that we have seen that a lot,
Yeah.
Right.
and I'm
it's-
hoping that
it's
they can.
getting old.
I'm hoping they can redeem Din and Bo, because I have
Right.
nothing against Bo-Katan. I
Right,
love the
yeah.
character
Right.
Bo-Katan. We actually have more lore with Bo-Katan than Din Djarin even
Yeah.
at this point at 3
Yeah.
seasons.
Mhm.
Definitely.
And we love Grogu. You know what I'm saying? It's all there. They have all the pieces.
Right.
It's just they're wrapping it up. So we're just like, oh, don't go that way, please. Don't fall
Right.
off a cliff at the end here.
Right.
You're this close to greatness. This is why Dinbo is this close to greatness.
We're this close to
Right.
greatness.
But-
Yeah, he really should have said something there. I feel
Right.
like, or just a small nod.
It'll be in the
or
next
like,
episode. Don't worry about it.
What if she reached for him and then that's when he turned and walked away? He didn't see it.
Oh, that would have been great. But again, he felt a little cold when he walked away. He was like, I pledge myself to you. Have a great day. I'm going to go get some dinner. You know, it's
I'm gonna have to go.
I'm gonna
off
go eat.
because I can't take off my helmet.
the tone,
Right.
but I think they
How did
could
they
still
eat there?
deliver.
Exactly.
Yeah.
on the ship.
They didn't. You see the armor was just sitting there like, I guess I can't eat anything.
Right.
And the rest of them were pigging out, including Grogu with that one scene.
Yeah, and we're
Yeah.
not against strong women, of course. I mean, Leia in the original was awesome. I mean,
Right.
Padme too is awesome. Like, it's just we take a problem with it whenever you have to put down another character just to prop yourself up. Then that's where I have a problem with it.
Any
You know what
character.
I mean?
Any character.
Yeah. So
it just has been a trend lately. of
yeah, and that's
one way
more
or
of it.
the
It
other.
just it
Yeah.
takes me out of the Star Wars universe because it feels like more of a political thing than it is an agenda more than it is to serve the story.
Yeah.
And it's difficult whenever it's that main character's like main plot or main,
Yeah.
they're the main character.
And then
Don't do the main character.
the stabbing of the back for us was when he got taken away. I know that some people in the chat are saying it's because Moff Gideon needs him from a story perspective for this season to be the bait. He wants to get Bo-Katan. He wants to get Grogu's blood to create clones.
Yeah.
He needs
I can see
Bo-Katan's
that.
dark saber so he can truly rule in every way, shape, and form. You know what I mean? So he's baiting them, and that makes some sense. But again, I think just
But what if you switched it? What if you switched it? Din still would
Yeah.
have gone after Bo.
Yeah.
Then he would have had what he needed there.
yeah. And
Grogu-
Grogu
and
would
they
be
would
right
have-
behind him, yeah.
Yeah, it would have been a rescue mission, and they definitely would have done that.
And
for
if he
her.
really wants them, then I don't know why what is it with Star Wars and like corridors where they just get like there's only one way in and
The
one way out.
corridor?
right?
Yeah.
Like it was Obi-Wan all over again a little bit in that scene for me. I was like,
Yeah, a little.
there's
Yeah.
rocks over here, there's rocks over here, there's one door in front, and there's another steel door behind.
Right.
Let's all shoot.
I-
You know, it's like,
Yeah.
and then thankfully she cut out, but you know, then he
Also,
was like,
why
I'm out of
didn't-
here.
Why didn't she cut earlier? You know, the door that was
yeah.
that sealed
Why didn't
off.
she cut through and
Din? I
Yeah,
was like,
I was
dude,
wondering
immediately I would have just whipped it out and cut it.
yeah, that whole time it was like you
They were
had
sitting there
the
listening to the
Darksaber, use
conversation.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
It was like, why didn't she pull out the Darksaber like immediately
If
when they
Din-
started attacking?
If
Yeah.
Din had the Darksaber during that battle,
Oh, that would have been epic.
That would have been epic.
he would have pulled out the Darksaber. He'd have been cutting everybody.
Yeah.
But then Moff probably would have got it. Yeah.
No, but then he could have cut the ropes that were trying to attach to him,
It's true.
and he could have just been heaving that thing
But then he
around.
probably would have been killed.
I mean, they were
You know, you gotta think about
definitely
this.
or he
they
could have
were
got away.
they were
Or-
definitely ambushed.
Actually, he would have had to. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. That's it.
Then he would have had to fight the Praetorian guards.
Yeah, and then he would have got skewered because
Maybe.
apparently nobody can go up against Praetorian Guards because it's a
Except-
sequel trilogy. And it's the
Except
bestest
for Rey,
ever.
the bestest ever, who never does anything wrong.
The problem is he only had a vibro blade. Like, oh,
Yeah.
like once that gun overheated, which I love that scene.
That was
pretty
great.
cool.
Yeah.
that was boss
like,
mode.
You know what he should have done? He
What?
should have like sabotaged his jetpack and blown them all to smithereens.
Yeah.
That would have been
That would have
more
been
of
a way
an epic
epic.
Mandalorian like, and then like Bo-Katan still at the window or something like that. She looks back and that's when he says, "This is the way," and then hits the button and then
Yeah.
he blows up all the Praetorian guards.
Yeah.
That would have been pretty sweet.
That would have been actually really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, or he grabs Moff. Well, Moff Gideon was already gone. He should have grabbed all three of them and jumped off the cliff.
Yeah, seriously,
Right.
done something. They
And
should have
then
at least given him
jetpacked,
one
and then
Praetorian guard
jetpacked.
kill.
Or he should have tried to ignite the jetpack and at least tried to fly.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was damaged. They kind of gave you that hint. But he
right.
could have tried to
Sparking.
ignite it, and it was like, oh no, this thing's gonna blow up. And he just runs and grabs all three of them, jumps off the edge,
And boom.
boom. And then
They're
everybody
gone.
looks back and they're like, oh, Paz.
Yeah.
That's when Bo-Katan knows to get out of there because he's actually dead
yeah.
Right.
or something. I don't know. We write this stuff, but we don't write this stuff.
Right. We're not the writers of the episode.
But I want to get into the chat and talk to them a little bit. What do you guys think? Or
Yeah.
what else do you want to get to before we get into that?
I mean, we've covered pretty much everything. We didn't see
We got IG-12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that
Okay,
spec
yeah,
that
thanks.
that
We didn't
story
touch
was
upon that.
that rumor was 100% true. V stuff and things.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you feel about
I
that?
don't-
It
yeah.
feels a little
It feels
convenient.
It feels goofy to me. Like it just looks goofy to me. I don't know. I guess it
It's not
works.
jiving.
Also, like the part where he's just, you know, hitting the button.
Yes.
I was
That got
like,
really
yeah,
annoying
okay,
real
that's
quick.
funny for like 3 times. He did it like 17 times. I was
Yeah.
like, please stop.
Like
will-
any dad or like especially a Mandalorian dad.
I was
would be like,
expecting
okay,
him-
that's enough.
Yeah, I was expecting him to like reach in and like take out the voice
Oh, that would
thing.
be hilarious. But
And then like,
yeah.
enough. Well, yeah, and he was just, yeah.
The only thing he
Being a
said
little-
was, "This isn't working for me."
Yeah.
We're like, that was the most passive aggressive non-dad thing to do there. Like,
Why don't you just take him out of the robot and not let him do that?
this isn't working, me. No,
Right.
you're the
It
dad.
showed a little more
Discipline him.
Right.
Yeah, again, a little bit of a lack of growth on Din's part as a dad
Yeah.
because we haven't had any moments hardly with him this season. This was kind of the first time where they were actually alone together and he does something bad. And instead of like Grogu being like, oh, I have learned to respect my dad figure, put the thing back, he was just like,
Yeah.
me. But I actually thought that stuff was hilarious.
It was kind of funny though in the beginning, especially. It
I
was just
thought-
the 17 times. He
Yeah,
did it was the
I
only
feel like
annoying
they
part.
could
It's like,
play
yes,
that.
Yes. Yeah. I was like, okay, that's too much.
That the
Like,
yes was annoying. It was
Get
almost
past
like,
this bit because you've killed it. This horse is dead.
yeah, it was like
They
The
should've
horse
used-
isn't there
they
anymore. You're
should've-
just beating the ground.
They should have used it more sparingly. I
Yeah.
agree. It was
more
like
sparingly
really annoyingly
and
Yeah.
more
Annoyingly?
creatively. More creatively.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like bring it in at the
Yes.
right moment, not just
Yes.
I am the force or the force is with me and the force. You know, don't just say the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
We
See, but
bring
that
in-
part in that movie was good. I liked that.
I agree.
What?
I agree.
Yeah.
But to me, I wanted him to say more. Right.
The Rogue One.
Oh yeah,
I am
yeah.
the force, and the force is
Forces
with
with
me.
me. Yeah, that actually still kind of made sense.
It was fine, but he just kept saying it over and over. It was fine. It was fine, but it was
because it was more like a mantra with
Yeah.
him. It wasn't just.
It
Like
wasn't
an annoying
him
little kid.
spamming a button saying I'm the
Right.
one. I'm one with the Force, and the Force is with me.
Yeah, Dan, we need
Yeah.
to get a button that has what's his name that says that. So
Yes and
if we
no.
agree to something.
Yes.
we could say we can hit the button. Yes.
No.
Well, we
No.
got to ask Matt, right? You know, he would-
Yeah.
yes or no,
Yes.
Matt.
no
Right.
comment.
No
He's still
His
silent.
button is broken.
Yeah.
His button is broken. I thought
But
you said
no.
his butt is broken.
I know. I was like,
it looks
what
more
does
like
that
his
mean?
neck.
Some people in
Yeah.
the chat, the twins, the Roll twins, are saying they didn't like IG-11 getting
it was,
dished
IG-12.
it
into
was
12.
just weird to me.
Allie Howard says IG-12's goofy, but I'm in for it all.
It felt like
Um,
plot convenience for where they were going. They were like, okay, we can't just keep having Grogu flip around.
They
and
needed
somebody
something,
carry
right.
him
Right.
the whole time. What can we do? IG-12. We can make
Right.
IG-12, and it's just a robot that they can walk in.
Yeah, but
It's just-
they think this stuff through more than we give them credit for, but it's just the execution.
Yeah.
You know, it's
it just
and
feels
then,
convenient versus like a natural progression of the story.
like
Yeah.
maybe you can be like, okay, we'll keep that in the back seat and in case we need it.
Right, not
Right.
immediately and
You
right
know,
away, yeah.
because obviously his walk is still like a kid. He can't get around. So
Yeah.
unless he's in the crib, well, the crib would not have worked. The pram would not have worked on Mandalore when they went
Right.
back. He needed something to run, as Din told him. He's like, "You're gonna have to run here. You know, keep up."
Mm-hmm.
Well, you just got his legs like 2 days ago, dude. Like now you're gonna expect him to run a marathon with you guys while dodging
Right.
bullets.
right.
He doesn't even have any armor. He's exposed. Like at least give him a blast shield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
But
didn't even
for
use
me-
the Force once. Or
He didn't use
anything,
the
or
force.
fight
He didn't
at all.
shoot. Did he shoot anything? Did he grab anything?
He stopped Paz and
Yeah, stop
Axe
them. That
from
was cool.
fighting.
That was cool.
Which she said that nobody from each faction can step in, and technically Grogu is with
the covert.
the Watch or the
Yeah.
Children
The
of the
Watch,
Watch.
yeah.
Yeah.
So he technically stepped in, but I don't know.
He was first a Jedi, so the peace.
Maybe that's what it was.
maker
Aspect
in
of
it.
That's
him.
where I feel like because Din
Yeah.
was like, "I didn't learn from me," and
Yeah.
then
Then
Bo
the
was
head
like,
nod.
That was good. I did
Yeah.
actually like the head nod that he gave. Grogu
Mhm.
actually gave a head nod, which seemed a little bit of like mature. There was except for like 10 minutes before that, we had yes.
Yeah, yeah.
All I want is food.
which was
Right.
funny for a time. I was hoping that there were more buttons in there. All right, I'm like, okay, now Din,
Right.
but
Now
now
he can
Grogu can
tell.
join the conversation, right?
Yeah,
But no, it's
exactly.
literally
I was
just yes and
excited
no.
about him to join the. I'm like, this is perfect. This gives him a way to talk. This is
Right.
the
Yeah.
keys to the kingdom, and then it was just 2 buttons. So, but maybe they can program it to give him more options, right? Like
Right.
he can say, "This is the way." Now
Yeah.
he can say, "Dingo." He
That'd be
can
funny.
say, "I'm hungry. I don't like you, Dad." Or
Right.
whatever, you know. He's a smart kid. He understands what's going on. He's older than all of them.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah,
But-
it's like he's going into like his rebellious stage too, because like right off the bat he told his dad no.
Yeah.
Dad, no. And then
No.
yes.
Yes.
No. Yes.
No.
By the way, I just want to say in the chat,
Say it.
someone is back from the dead.
Back from the
Who's
dead?
back from
His
the
name
dead?
is Dr. Mad Studio.
Dr. Mad Studio.
Studios.
It's been weeks.
Wow.
He says, "Hello, boys.
Hello.
I'm back from the dead."
Nice.
And,
What's up, Hammerhead?
There's a few more people, a few
Yeah.
new faces since the last time I was here.
That there is.
Dr. Mad was hanging with us when Bad Batch was going on and nobody cared. But,
Yeah.
but Dr. Mad Studio, we cared.
He was
right?
there,
And
man.
He was there.
We cared. He was
Matt,
there.
Matt is here in spirit.
Yes,
Yeah.
he is.
But Dr. Mad is great chatting with you.
He's
With all
lost his
there's a lot of new
arms.
faces. Get to know Dr. Mads. He's a smart fella. He knows the Star Wars world, and we're happy to have him here, as
And
well as all
everybody.
of you
Yes,
other people
everybody.
in the chat.
Yeah.
I've been reading the chat, trying to look at the camera. but
Yeah,
I
no,
don't
right.
know how to do all
The
these
chat
things.
has been on point. Like anything I've seen, I'm just like, yep. Man, you guys are
Yeah.
killing it tonight. Thank
Right.
you. But yeah, so pretty much that whole Grogu thing, it was a little conflicting because like in some ways it's kind of cool and fun with like
Right.
the yes no situation. Like he was actually communicating to them, which is funny. But at the same time, it got old quick, and then
Yeah.
it didn't really pay off. In a lot of ways.
Execution, right?
Yeah.
Execution. Make it something you can build on. Don't burn it right at the beginning by
Right.
like
Yeah.
overusing it. But in the edit, in the writing, it sounds funny, because they're delivering Disney moments that you can play back on, like, oh, here's the new, highlight reel from the show, and then you look at that clip where he's like, yes, yes, yes. That makes for a funny moment. But
Although
inside of the episode, it felt
they could have used that sparingly, and I think it would have been way funnier, like way funnier than the 100% yes. Like they're just trying to show him be a kid, but then the scene before that, they're trying to show him being like a rebellious kid.
Right.
So it's like, okay, pick a lane in some ways. I get
Stay
it.
in your lane.
But
Squiggly squid.
Could have used that like hilariously. Like even whenever like he stops the fight, he could have been like, no. Did he say no?
He did.
Oh, he did. Okay. I
said
didn't remember
no.
that. Yeah. Okay.
No.
That was good.
No.
when he stopped the fight. Yeah.
He stopped the fight, but yeah.
Yeah.
He just interjects at like the silliest times would have been kind of funny though. Like a serious moment, and he brings the levity with yes.
Yes.
I guess we're doing that.
Right.
Aaron Havoc did mention Grogu. Can we talk about Grogu sitting in Bo's lap there at the beginning of the episode? That was
While she was flying.
She was flying.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I missed that. How did I totally miss that?
I don't know. It was right at the beginning.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, we were thinking about 10,000 other things because we
Yeah.
just came off of the Moff Gideon
Yeah,
thing.
the Shadow Council and Thrawn. I think my head was still spinning from Thrawn.
Right. They
and-
name dropped
and
Thrawn.
Actually,
What?
Captain Pelion, I was even more excited.
Yeah, I
for.
know.
You
You
were
were like,
like,
Captain, is that Pelion?
Is that Pelion? And then they said his name. He's like, yep, that's Pelion.
I
Yep.
was like, yes, Pelion, my man, my homeboy.
And then they said Hux, and you're like, nah. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
You're like, oh, yeah, it's his dad or something.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about the gauntlet Moff Gideon threw down at Thrawn's feet, basically saying,
Yeah.
He
Thrawn's-
challenged Thrawn.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's why I think
Yeah,
he's
good
going to
call.
be in like the end of the
The
next-
series.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
The
think,
next
yeah, I
episode.
agree.
And he's going to be like, yo, I'm going to kill you.
I don't think Gideon is actually going to die in this one.
Right.
They introduce him in episode 7. They kill him off in episode 8 with all the things
Yeah,
that he's
I
built.
don't-
That would
he's
be
probably
that would
gonna
be
get
a
away
cheap
again.
ending for him at this point.
Yeah.
He needs to get away and challenge Thrawn. Maybe he's going to show up at some point in Ahsoka, but I think really he's going to come back for season 4, and they're just going to keep it with him, either working with Thrawn or maybe Gideon. I don't know why they gave him so many new toys in this one.
That's
Again.
the thing, though.
He's actually more boss now than he was in the first 2 seasons, but he's only here for 2 episodes.
Although him
Right.
stepping out of that TIE fighter with the Darksaber, that was an epic moment.
That
an
part
epic
was
ending.
jaw dropping.
Yeah.
It was like,
Yeah, it was, but it was micro, except the Darksaber, right? It was just
Yeah.
him.
It was just a huge
moment.
That,
Oh,
moment
It was
for
like,
like we
what-
hadn't seen the Darksaber.
is that the Darksaber?
Yeah. That was epic, dude.
Right.
But I get it. Like it's like Jaws. When the villain is there, like all the
Mhm.
time, it can get annoying. You have to use him sparingly. The shark is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And he's like
Wait,
the shark.
is the villain?
Like he's leaning. But that's the problem. Is that the problem for us is that he has not been even like talked about hardly.
Right.
Like reference him. Like show us something at the very beginning of the season where he destroys
Right,
somebody. Then work it out, then do all your other fluff. At least then we know we have something that we have to fight against at the end.
Yeah.
The shark, but in the meantime, he's picking apart people here left and right. You give us the thing on Coruscant. We know exactly what it's
Right.
about. Don't be like, oh, is this about Gideon? Is this about Thrawn? We're like, it's got to be Thrawn because Gideon's not around. And then all of a sudden, here we are with Gideon.
Yeah.
Right.
And then he looks good. He looks great. It's awesome. His setup, he's ready to go. He's ready to fight. But
Yeah.
we needed him sooner.
Yeah.
So
We
that's
did.
my grief.
They needed to introduce him sooner, at least.
Yeah.
I think Thrawn's the better shark at this point. They introduced him
I know.
in season 2.
Are you saying there's always
like
a bigger
he's
fish?
Jaws? Yes. Yes, I am. He's Jaws in this. Like you
Yeah.
do not waste Thrawn, and they have used him very sparingly, but enough to pique your interest.
Mhm.
Oh,
There was a picture.
what were you going to say, fact checker?
Oh, just John Pope said Thrawn will deal with Gideon the same way he dealt with Governor Price.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That was in Rebels,
Governor
That was
Price,
in
yeah.
Rebels, yep.
Yes.
But there's also that other girl that was fighting Ahsoka who works for Thrawn. We haven't seen her yet, so
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
yeah.
in season 2.
Morgan Elsbeth.
Elsbeth.
Yeah, she hasn't shown up. I thought maybe she would be there in the council representing Thrawn or something.
Yeah.
but that wasn't
Well,
there.
and touching on your point with that, I liked your shark analogy. That was good. But I think that Moff Gideon is more like, because anytime you have Imperials and they're the remnant Imperials,
Remnant
everybody's just fighting for power at this point.
Yeah,
Like
it's
they all
a
want,
huge power vacuum.
yeah, they all want to lead. They all want to be the leader of the Empire.
Mhm.
So with them having to like work together. It's
Yeah.
just a matter of time before somebody tries to take over and lead.
Yeah.
And I think he's seizing his opportunity because I think he believes that Thrawn might not actually be around anymore. That Pelion and Hux are just using that as like
An excuse
to
hold power.
lead.
Yeah.
Right. So then he's kind of challenging it in that regard.
Well,
and
he
everybody
wants-
else was like, yeah, sure, go ahead.
right.
He wants ultimate power, obviously.
Right.
With his
He
force
wants-
he's building.
Unlimited power.
Well, I think at this point, like you
Unlimited power.
I like how the Empire is like the remnants of the Empire is united, but also factioned out. I love that
Yeah.
because they're all bad people. They're all out for their own interest. They all
Yep.
want to raise their, like, Pelion's got all the ships.
Yep.
Hux has all the ships. You know, Moff Gideon's like, I need some stuff, man. Can you give me some stuff?
Right.
You know, we're working for the same guy, right? Thrawn or
Right.
something. But
Right.
maybe he's like, give me some stuff. And as soon as he gets all the stuff, he's going to go kill all the other ones and be the leader.
Right.
It's just like any warring faction or tribe that's like, I want to be the best one out of all the bad ones. And
Yep.
then we can kill everybody else and take over the whole galaxy.
You don't know what's good for bad.
Exactly.
But I think we're got to start getting into the chat because we got to chat with some of these peeps. What do you think?
For sure. I
Oh, do you
did
have
like
any other
though the
things?
natural progression though, real quick with Moff Gideon using the Mandalorians. Like again, we should have had this like 4 seasons.
4 seasons.
4 episodes ago, but I did like that makes sense in the Star Wars universe. Like you
Yeah.
do not want the Mandalorians becoming, that would definitely be a hamper there because
Yeah.
I mean how difficult it is to kill Mandalorians with their Beskar armor,
Mhm.
and how tough of fighters they are, even though they haven't really shown it that much
Right.
in this season until this episode.
This episode,
It
the second
made-
to last episode,
Right. It
of a
definitely
s-
made sense.
of a
though.
show called The Mandalorian.
Right. Sorry, that was my last point with Moff Gideon.
Yeah.
I liked how they actually handled that in
Yeah.
there and why he used that. And was it? They haven't answered though. Was it his Beskar or was it the traitor or spy that's among them whose Beskar that was in the ship that
Right.
that saved
Right.
Moff Gideon?
And where's Teva?
Yeah.
Where's Carson Teva?
Where are they?
right. Yeah.
I
Maybe
guess
they'll
he's
show
just
up in
back
the
in
next
Coruscant.
episode.
Someone in the chat said earlier, and feel free to let me know who said it if you're still here, that he will find the droid that Elias talked through,
Yeah.
whatever, and he might figure out what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
That Carson
yeah.
Teva's gonna,
The Imperial probe
and then he's
droid
gonna
that was
die.
in the
She's
beginning.
gonna kill him, and then nobody's gonna know. No, I'm just joking.
No, he's gonna
Yeah.
kill her.
He's going to kill
Well,
her.
the weird part though is like.
She's going to get arrested. She's not going to die.
The weird part though about like the rise of the First Order, was like they were secret for so long.
Yeah.
That's why it's kind of weird that this is only like 5, 6, 7 years after Empire Strikes Back, or not Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, and we're already getting like Imperial remnants and stuff like that, which I
Yeah.
guess could culminate to Thrawn, and Thrawn's not really the First Order, but it sounds like he kind of is.
Right.
And then once Thrawn's defeated, I guess I could see how the First Order really has to take a step back and really hide until they have enough power to take over.
right.
But it's still kind of weird to me on how they're tying it together. It doesn't.
I feel like what they're doing is they're trying to redeem the sequel trilogy
They're
by
trying.
using the highest quality of Mando.
Well, they still
and
have
saying-
a million action figures that nobody wanted, so they
Right.
got to try and sell those.
Well, that's what I'm
somehow.
saying. They're trying to interweave something that is successful into something that wasn't successful.
Mhm.
And it's like trying to add the batch of cookies that tasted horrible and mixing it in with the good batch of cookies. When you
Yep.
take a bite of the bad one, you're like, this is
You're like,
horrible. Why
what
is this
happened?
in here? It ruined the whole batch.
Exactly.
The
Right.
bad batch.
The bad batch.
And
But-
sometimes you can't put in enough good ingredients to make poop taste good.
Right. If there's 1 ounce of dung in a thing of brownies,
You're gonna taste
you
it.
gonna eat some of that brownie?
Yeah.
Are you want this slice over here? It probably doesn't have it in there. It probably got mixed in on this side, right?
Yeah.
But if you eat the brownie, technically there's a little bit of dung in that brownie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
We don't want that.
Well, and it's just like, why would you take your most popular IP in Star Wars that, like, almost everybody said has saved the Disney Star
And-
Wars
Yeah.
and lead it to the worst received of everything you've done in Disney Star Wars? Like, that just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
It's just not good business.
It waters down.
That's a bad business move. You look at like what was successful as a business. All right, that wasn't. Let's try a different avenue and see if that's successful. Okay, we have something successful. Let's take it back to what was horrible.
Yeah.
Like, no, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense to me.
Yeah.
So that's
It's like
why it's
putting
such a
a
dumb move.
spoiled apple in a batch of good apples.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, oh yeah, this will work. Yeah, no, they're all bad.
Yeah,
Turn them all bad.
I don't know.
Anyway,
Yeah.
let's get to these chats. I know we got
Yeah.
a lot of chats out there.
Lots of chats.
Yeah, by the way, Dr. Mad Studio said, don't worry, guys. Bob the Hobo is still alive and causing trouble. He's looking for his mojo.
Nice.
Bob the
Bob the
Hobo,
Hobo.
man, that guy.
He's still around.
He also was unable to go to Star Wars Celebration. It was in his home country of England. Too big for my
England.
wallet. Don't live near London anyway since I'm in the northwest of Britain. So,
Nice.
shoot.
I
We
know.
thought maybe you were on a mission, and that's why
Yeah.
we didn't see you.
Right.
You were there reporting live
that
on the
would have been
studio.
awesome.
Did you see? He said he's. Did you get that?
No.
Oh, he's going to where to go? Meet someone from the Star Wars Celebration. He's meeting Toby Philpott.
Oh, cool.
All right.
Yeah,
well,
so-
report back, Dr. Mads.
Yeah,
Do
Dr.
it.
Mans would love
Tell
to
us
hear
how that
about
goes.
it.
Love
Yeah.
to do it. But holy smokes, it's awesome that you're here. And but we got a lot of other commenters, questions in here.
Let's
People
hit it.
reaching out. We were talking about Grogu.
Do we want to rate it first or we want to rate it at the end? Sorry.
We can rate it
for-
first and then
this
just
is
jump in and
spoilers.
talk. Yeah.
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 All right, so let's just rate it real fast so we can kind of conclude the spoiler section of the show. I mean, we're still going to continue the spoiler.
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
in the
yeah.
chat because that's what we're about, baby. But yeah, let's rate this episode. Also, rate it in the chat and the comments too. For me, I'm going to give this one. It was way better than the rest so far. I'm going to go. I'm going to go 8. 8.
All
on
right.
this. What about you, Nick?
Yeah, I go like a 8.25.
Nice.
Yeah.
What
It
about
was
you,
solid.
Matt?
We'll
We're
get
gonna
his
get
thoughts
his take.
later.
That's a great
Yeah.
score, Matt.
That's great.
Wait,
Matt.
you guys didn't hear him say that?
Right?
He said no.
Yeah. No.
No.
Yes.
No.
I'm going to give it a 8.75 out of 10.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this one. I'm excited for what they did to it, and I'm looking forward to the finale. I'm a little hesitant, but I'm way more excited after the last episode. I mean,
Yeah,
I might as well give it a
absolutely.
50 out of 10
Yeah.
compared to the last episode.
Right.
This is the way, and you're
this
on
is
your
the
way. We want to see some Dinbo moments in 10 or the final episode 8, so we can notch it up to 11. These season finales, they deliver these season finales.
Yeah, they usually.
And it's going to be another 50-minute blowout, and I think it's going to be unbelievably epic.
What if
And
it's
we're-
like a 2-hour blowout?
I would be fine
That'd be
with that.
nuts. I'd be
that would
like,
be crazy,
what?
And it's
What's
only 1
happening?
week away. 1 week
Right.
away, baby.
baby. As long as it pays off, that's the thing.
Yeah.
If it's like 2 hours of garbage, I will not be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't introduce some new foreign character. We don't care
they're
about.
going to introduce 8 new characters in the last episode of the
Right.
show.
And
Yeah.
they're all
It's going to be
die.
the entire Rebels crew shows up to save the day.
Oh,
Ahsoka
I don't
shows up.
think
they
they'll
all
do that.
do.
Yeah, I don't
So-
think so.
They have to save Din. He dies.
Right.
yeah.
Leads into
I
Ahsoka.
don't know, man. But we got the Brick Boy in the
What about-
chat. Oh, go ahead. Fact checker.
Fact checker. We need to get fact checkers. Take.
I agree with a lot of people in chat. 9 out of 10 is what I was.
You're
gonna
going
say.
for 9.
Yeah, I liked
Yeah.
it. I liked it. I mean, I was sad at the end, of course, but
Yeah.
you need that emotion.
Right, we
Emotional
haven't-
It
turmoil.
makes it more. It makes it more realistic.
Yeah.
In my book,
So it was good.
if
I'm-
people die,
I'm changing mine to 9 actually because
You
It's
gutless
9.
flip
I convinced you.
I'm just
yeah,
joking.
no, I was leaning there.
he's a
but,
sellout. People.
I'm a sellout. Bring it.
My reasoning for not going 9 and going a solid 8 is the fact that Din's been sidelined his own show.
Yep.
That they're leading us to the sequel trilogy.
Yep.
There's just a little too convenient.
Some stuff went.
We didn't get the full Dinbo.
yeah, it didn't go far enough. That's what I was gonna say.
Oh, sorry. So that's why I had an 8.
Yeah.
It was still a solid
No,
episode.
I'm-
It's the best one that we've gotten so far in this entire
Yeah.
season.
Which is
Yeah.
why I gave it a
Season.
9. In the
well,
chat,
that's nice.
But the
I'm
chat's-
I'm not attacking your 8. I'm just defending my 9.
No, yeah, sorry.
100 million for the Brick Boy.
Yep. There you go.
11 plus for Jane Doe. Yeah, it was a good one. Jane in the comments of a video earlier said it's going to be a good episode. So,
Yeah.
Jane Doe, thanks for that. You were correct. Robert G. Paz didn't need to die. 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Dr. Mads, my views on the sequel trilogy are mixed at best. Some things I love, some things I don't. All right, what's your review of the thing? I'm just kidding.
What's your review of the thing?
Dr. Mads, let
He
us
said
know.
it later. 10
All
out
right.
of 10 gold nuggets for him.
Brilliant. Gold nuggets. That's
gold
right.
nuggets.
Best
He loves
kind of-
those gold nuggets. doesn't he?
Olivia Roll. What's that? 11,111 out of 10.
Yep.
I love it. 5 1s. Bree Mew. I give it a 9. I give it a 9. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Just like me. Secret Songs 20, 9 out of 10. V Stuffing Things, 9 out of 10. Empress, 9 out of 10. Dr. Mads, back at it, 10 out of 10. Gold Nuggets. Yes. Jonah Serato, 9 out of 10. Pink Menace, this was a pretty good episode. Okay. 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10, yeah.
2 comments later. Hannah Roll, 66 out of 10. What?
Order 66.
Way to go.
Execute Order 66. I like what
Tacaniable, 8.5 out of 10. Pink Menace, 8 out of 10. I said that. What?
Yeah, you did.
I like V stuff said, if Din dies, I will burn down Disney.
You and John Havoc, right?
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Oh, my goodness. Tacaniable,
Aaron
8.5
Havoc,
out of 10. Aaron Havoc, I'm sorry. Olivia Roll was everything I expected, so a solid 1,000 out
That
of
was
10.
John Pope who was going to burn it down.
Oh, maybe it was.
Oh,
of them-
both.
of
Oh,
them
yeah, he said
it.
it tonight.
Yeah.
I'm
John Pope and Aaron Havoc, they're both on the same right? Maybe?
We also rate it by saying, do we bring it in warm or do we bring it
warm
in
or cold? It was warm.
It was warm.
It's definitely warm.
Angela Sepulveda, 9.
Oh, what happened?
And
you go.
Julieth Mora, 9.5 out of 10. All right. So we got some fans. Robert G, a double-sized episode would be awesome for next one. That would be cool. John Pope, 9 out of 10. Praetorian Guard docks at a point.
Yep. There you go.
Olivia Roll, okay, on board for a 2-hour. People want that.
Yeah.
Tacani will only pray for Din to have his big moment. Agreed.
Also, we should ask the chat too. We were kind of talking about when we want to go live next week because we want to.
we want to stay up and watch.
We
the
want to stay up
episode.
and watch this one at for us it's 3 a.m. for where we live. So what do you think? We're gonna go live an hour before and then watch it, or are we gonna watch it and then go live immediately? I don't know how
That's
many
what I
people are
would
gonna
say.
be.
I don't think we'll go live immediately because then we'll be the spoilers.
Yeah.
I just have a feeling we need to let it breathe.
But we could do like a live watch though, and then might as well go straight into it if everybody's watching along with it.
I
What
don't
if we
like
do
that
a double
idea.
stream? We
Well, we
stream
could
at
just
3 in
dub
the
it.
morning
We
and
could dub it watch party or live party spoiler heavy,
Yeah,
spoilers.
maybe. I know one of us won't be here probably for that.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Zach John, 69 out of 10. Zach John joined the chat today. What's up, Zach?
What's up?
What's up?
What's
and,
happening?
brilliant. Some people can't stay up. Some people saying watch party. I would wake up for that. Jonas Serato, Dr. Mads, it's almost 3 a.m. over here. It's almost 3 a.m. at Dr. Mads' place right now.
Dude, he could wake up, but he could wake up and practically
Yeah,
watch
he
it.
would be eating his
Yeah.
3 pieces of toast. 4 pieces of toast, was it? And,
4 pieces of toast.
4 pieces of toast.
And what was the other
The
thing?
Frosted Flakes?
Cornflakes.
Cornflakes.
Yeah.
Very mild.
I like how we know what he eats for
Right.
breakfast, for goodness sake.
We know exactly where he
Let us know what
We
you guys
can
eat for
relate.
breakfast. Apparently we'll remember.
What would you eat at 3 in the morning to keep you awake? Would you have coffee? Would
Monster
you not?
energy drinks.
Yeah.
Not a sponsor.
Man.
Yeah,
I mean,
not
that's
a
tough.
sponsor, yeah.
So we're going to be thinking about that next week because we're going to be on the Mando Eve. We're going to be freaking
We're
out
gonna be
on
buzzing.
Mando Eve.
Yeah.
So we got to figure out our plans here, but we'll let you guys know as soon as we do.
Yeah, we will. for
And
sure.
if
Maybe
you
we
guys
could do a
stay up,
community
I'll
post
stay
on
up,
it.
says John Pope. Robert G, 2:45 Eastern is the post time. 2:45 is the post time.
Oh, okay.
So that's a
All
good deal.
all right.
The Brick Boy has asked what you guys thought about the commandos.
Oh,
You guys
like the
touch on
Imperial
that?
Yeah.
commandos
Yeah.
that
Yes.
had the Beskar armor.
Yeah, he's curious.
I mean, they were pretty weak. Not gonna lie.
They looked
was weird.
cool.
They looked cool.
It was a
They're-
weird battle though because everybody's got Beskar.
Yeah.
So they're just
Yeah.
blaster bolts bouncing.
Yeah.
Except for a couple of shots, one under the helmet.
I did like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I had to get physical, right?
Didn't
with the-
shot one in the
Physical.
head like 5 times in
Physical.
a row.
Yeah.
It's like.
Yeah.
Are you sure he's dead?
There was some kind of odd stuff going on there. It was
Yeah.
like who can shoot through Beskar and who can't. Like,
Well,
they're
they're aiming for the weak spots, I guess.
right. The Mandalorians would actually know where the weak spots are better than the Imperials, I guess.
So do you
So
think?
it makes sense why they were winning for the most part, but still,
Mhm.
it seemed a little one-sided.
Yeah. Do you think they're Imperials, or are they other
Or clones.
Mandalorians or clones? I
I
almost
thought he-
wonder if they're clones.
Yeah, I thought he was going the clone angle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's what they had been working on.
Yeah.
Isn't that what his whole monologue was about too?
Yeah.
Was
Well,
about
but I think he was talking about his armor.
he took the best.
I don't know.
I thought he was talking about clones.
I feel like we need to
though.
rewatch this one again. Maybe
Yeah.
as
We
part
really
of
do.
next week, we'll rewatch it and get a feel for where we're at.
Yeah.
So people in the chat, though, because I want to get to them, because you guys were lighting it up in the chat. We didn't have a chance to read all your thoughts on the episode, but as what I was reading,
The fact
I
checker
read
did.
them all.
But fact checker read along and was communicating, and she represents us. So everything that you were saying that I was reading was right on par with our thing. I love that you're fleshing out your thoughts as we are doing ours, because
Definitely.
that's what this is really about. And we'll make some videos and keep commenting, because this is
One Hondo.
peak Mando right here. A couple people can't stay up 1 hour before, maybe review on Wednesday at usual time, says Secret Songs 20.
Yeah, we could.
that's probably the best of both worlds.
Right.
Bree Mew, I think for the season finale it's worth it, but every episode probably a bit too much. I don't know. Oh, I see, just that style. But yeah, for the finale, it might be worth going crazy. V Stuff and
Right.
Things doesn't eat breakfast. Jonas Serato says Red
I
Bull.
don't really either.
Woo, Red Bull. Yeah.
Anna Roll, mine's 12 a.m. I
Not a sponsor.
can't
Not a
because
sponsor.
school the next day. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Understand. It would be midnight here, says Empress, so I'll stay up and watch. Yeah, if we could do
Nice.
it at midnight, so yeah, I mean, for you midnighters,
You
that's-
could do that.
Yeah.
You could do that, and we could be there for you if you can stay up. Juliette Morris says, I'm in Columbia, so it's 8:45 here, so you're an hour behind us. Columbia. Okay, cool.
Nice.
Like the country?
Well, that's
Or-
cool. So,
Or Ohio.
We'll definitely
Ohio.
right.
We're in the same
definitely
time zone.
Let everybody know
Yeah.
what we're gonna do. I think right now it almost makes sense to just do a live watch party. Well, maybe we could do our Mando Eve at our normal time,
See,
then
that's
do
what I was thinking.
the
For like 2
the
hours.
live watch party, and we can maybe talk a little bit, but then save a lot of what we're gonna talk about for our normal time.
I think
Right.
because Mystery Matt would probably be here for the watch party or the Mando Eve.
The Mando
Yeah.
Eve, yeah, I think you could probably make it for that.
Takanible says, by the way, what if Axe Wolves would take care of him after he learned what Paz did to fellow Mandalorians and taking it as a matter of duty to make up for their past conflict?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take care of Ragnar. You
That's
mean?
almost. Oh, I
Yeah.
see. Yeah, take
I
care of
think so.
Ragnar. Oh, yeah. So Axe Wolves adopts Ragnar.
Maybe.
That would be
So,
interesting.
Yeah.
Although I still feel like Bo and Din could more take care of him.
Yeah.
But I like that idea better because then it gives
Mhm.
kind of Grogu a brother. in
Zach
some
John
ways.
is asking about our thoughts on maybe he came in a little late, the armor being a double or triple agent. We talked about that earlier,
Yeah.
and we think there's something probably going on there.
Right.
If they that
want
doesn't
to.
amount to anything, that's like
Weak sauce. It's just like writing characters out so they don't have to give them something to do. I don't like
Yeah.
that. I mean, she had something to do, right? She's going to take care of the wounded and et cetera, et cetera. But they're a different faction. So,
yeah.
I don't know. So it's kind of weird, but we'll see. We'll see, Zach John. I'm curious too.
Yeah, for sure. It's just with the music, the horns that match Moff Gideon's horns. There's a lot of weird things. We don't know her background. Maybe she set up the whole helmet thing because if she shows her face,
They'll
they'll
recognize
recognize her and know
Well,
that
she's
she's
a
Gasp.
a villain.
Some
You know
people
what I
said
mean?
she's Dathomirian. She's a Night Sister. She's something.
Right.
I mean, the actress
Dude,
doesn't look like a Night Sister,
It's
but
Asajj Ventress.
Dude, well, technically, I don't think it could be, but that would be awesome. I would
How
love
nuts
that.
would that be? She takes her helmet
Dude,
off,
that'd
and
be
you're just like,
so cool.
oh no.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. In the book route, they went a little different direction.
Yeah.
Even in Clone Wars,
Yeah.
I like the arc they took with her.
Well, because what happens to her though?
Do you want me to tell you? Spoil it?
no.
Okay.
I don't remember. Like, did they say?
At the end of Clone Wars, you mean?
At
Yeah.
No, it was a
I don't think they
No, it was
went
never
anywhere with it.
explained her in Clone
correct.
Wars.
So they could do whatever if things happen in a comic or a book, I think. But
right. It would happen in a book.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, I remember. But JCC said Trooper Beskar might not be the purest. V Stuff says I think they're clones. Hannah Roll,
Yeah.
pure Beskar is rare. Most Mandalorians do not have pure like Din.
Right.
Right.
So that's why I love.
But the Empire does have a lot of it
right.
because that's how he got it.
Well, and he's been mining it from there. It seems
Yeah.
like the whole
I think
time.
that's where they're getting at. That's how he was able to make all that armor.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah.
Or he got it from dead Mandalorians too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, and then you got to think, the other Mandalorians that were there probably didn't have Beskar armor on. That's why they were dying so quickly.
Yeah.
All right, so Hannah Rolls dropping the facts says Beskar's weakness is concussion blasts, so that's why Paz's weapon worked the best against them from that range.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Nice. Yeah, that makes sense.
So there you go. Makes
I
sense.
saw in the comments earlier somebody they were asking about the Praetorian Guards. Is the Praetorian Guards weaponry Kyber based? I thought that was a really interesting question. I'm not 100% sure because
I don't know.
obviously lightsabers can deflect them.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It still can go through Beskar, obviously.
Right.
So I don't know if it's Kyber based or if it's like a vibroblade energy weapon type that just kind of melts through.
like
but
plasma?
that does kind of seem like Kyber based.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. That's weird.
Hmm.
I don't know if they've explained. Maybe they have. Let us know in the chat if they've explained that in the sequels or whatever, and in
Right.
some book they wrote to explain things that they didn't explain in the movies.
Yeah, a couple comments here. Old Armors passed down are better, like the ones Bo and Din or Bo or Sabine have.
Yeah.
Old armors,
Like armor
Right.
that was in the
Yeah.
family.
And she said this armor's been in my family for 3 generations.
Angela Sepulveda, by the way, said it's 3 a.m. my time for the drop of the episodes. I always wake up in the middle of the night anyway, so it always works out.
Nice.
And
Nice.
later on said Queens, New York City, the Big Apple. So yeah, same time zone as us, pretty much. I think yes.
Yeah.
So therefore 3 a.m. V Stuff and Things is not allowed to stay up till 3 o'clock. So
Right.
so anyway, it sounds like some of you may or may not be able to join us. So I think we definitely should keep the regular scheduled programming here for the following Wednesday, so we can catch all of you. Because we've got to talk. We might come back on Thursday to keep talking about it.
Right. If it's awesome.
If it's amazing, and
Or
we
bad.
well, we just have to decompress. Like we had to decompress last week for like 4 days.
Oh, I know.
We were like still chatting
Yeah.
about it like 3 days later, and then obviously Star Wars Celebration blew our minds.
It did. There's so much. We still didn't even cover it all.
Yeah, I don't know. The Beskar demand require the alloy switch weekend, which explains why some Beskar blocks all blasters, and some don't.
Yeah.
So again, she was talking to Hannah,
Weak.
talking to JCC Joanne.
My favorite shot was whenever Bo, for like getting around it, she shot underneath somebody's
Yeah.
helmet.
Yep.
That was actually pretty cool. Like straight headshot.
I mean, there's a lot
Headshot.
going on. I like that they did kind of get ambushed. I don't like how they're always just scatterbrain fighting. Like
Yeah.
there's never any plan. Like they're just
Right.
always surprised by something.
Well, and they never.
So
it
they
seems
can't
like they
form any
never take to the
formations.
sky.
No.
That's the thing that drives
They
me
always
crazy.
forget they have jetpacks.
Yeah, I'm like, you're freaking Mandalorians, dude. Get to the sky. Take the high ground, right?
Well,
it always
clearly-
works.
Clearly, they
Yes.
have like 1 ounce of fuel. You know,
Right.
It's
No.
really more just like a
See, and
extra
it's
boost
funny.
jump.
Because whenever they were clearing the landing zone, I had that thought. I'm like, they're wasting all their fuel. They're just gonna fall to their deaths,
Right.
Because they dropped so high.
Right. Yeah, no, they got some fuel. I mean, enough to fly around. Plus, if you're in a like military engagement, you want to
Yeah. You
get
want
to
a
the
lot.
same level. Use what you can. Like if they all literally would have taken off at the same time, flown above those guys and shot down on all of them,
Yeah.
they would have been superior.
Yeah.
They would
Mhm.
have been able to take them out a lot easier.
Air superiority.
Yeah, air superiority. That's what
There
it
you
comes
go.
down to.
Yep. And Dr. Mads, by the way, says 2 more weeks left before I join the 30 Club on the
Nice.
27th of April. We do like
Nice.
birthdays on this show.
We do.
Yeah. There's
Happy
a lot of
Happy
birthday,
birthday.
yeah.
I'm becoming an old coffin dodger. That's my best British. It's
That
not
was good. I
That was
liked
great.
it. That's the.
Yeah.
Is that the only accent we've done tonight? Wow, impressive.
Is
Impressive.
it really?
Yeah, I think it is. We did more last night.
Good day.
Good eye.
Oh, yes.
no.
Robert G didn't like the ending for Ventress.
yeah, I
the-
didn't either.
No.
Yeah.
It
No.
was
I
big sauce.
You don't
think.
have to kill those people off.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about the book. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
the
talking
book.
about the Clone Wars.
Well, I don't know
Clone
what
Wars
Like,
Robert.
it was
fine.
kind of like it was
Clone Wars was
unresolved
fine.
though.
Yeah.
It kind of was just like this
I would-
happens and then you don't see her again.
I wish it would have left off that way.
Yeah.
They could still bring her back. They
Yeah,
could still
he's
have-
talking
it.
about with Quinlan Voss.
Yeah, see, yeah, but I mean, I like
Yeah.
the
Is it the book?
Quinlan Voss part with her, but I didn't like how it ended.
Yeah.
That's what I'll say. Quinlan
Okay.
Voss is awesome. Why have they
Right.
not brought him back in?
They
yet?
need to.
Yeah.
They need to bring
They
Quinlan
definitely
in,
need to.
into the fold because
You
we
gotta
know he
cast-
made it past Order 66.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yep. Let's see. The finale will be a journey of a lifetime, says Dr. Matt Studios with a great emoji. I think so. Yeah.
I think it's going to be both fantastic and there's going to be points that I think we're going to be like, ooh,
yeah.
I missed the mark.
yeah, I don't know. I'm like already torn.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
haven't seen it yet.
Right.
Some people are saying keep the regular scheduled programming.
Yeah, we will.
So we'll definitely not lose that because we have been
We're gonna do both.
That.
We're gonna do it.
do it all.
We're gonna do it all. This is the final.
We're gonna have a
frontier.
24-hour stream.
Yeah.
Yeah,
24
and Julius Mora clarified not from the USA, so we got some international
That's
people here. This
awesome.
is
Yeah, no,
awesome.
that's awesome.
That is so
Columbia,
cool.
really, really cool here with you guys. Amazing conversation. A lot of boat-in shippers here.
Yeah.
Yeah, this has
yeah.
got to be one of the tightest boat-in Dinbo shippers.
Mhm.
I think our conversation, most people still voted Bo-Din over Dinbo, which
I
this
like
season
Dinbo.
I like
points to
Nimbo.
Bo-Din. But I was on the fence. You know me, I'm a fence flip-flopper.
You're
Yeah.
Switzerland.
He's a
I'm
sellout.
Switzerland. I'm
Anybody from
Switzerland.
Switzerland?
And
Right?
Swiss cheese. You know, that's why I'm
Yeah.
hoping they give us some gold nuggets in the final, some golden nuggets, right, Dr. Mads? In the final episode that we can just ride off into the sunset
Right.
because we've been talking about it ever since the beginning here.
It's
since
like
before the season, I think, but
it's really kind of been almost the standout that we can cling to for this season so
Yeah.
far. It's like the one good through
It's
line
the one
that we've
glimmer of
had.
hope
Yeah,
we
the
have.
glimmer of hope that we've had through. Which is funny because like I never even thought that really in season 2. Like
Right, yeah.
maybe we did, but
Maybe we thought
not
it, we just
nearly
never
as much.
said it.
But then now it was like definitely this season popped off and we're like, oh yeah,
They're definitely gonna end up together.
it just makes sense.
Who do you think would win in a fight? True love.
Yes, it's ever since you said that.
But that was
Perfect.
before the season started, and that was
Yeah.
what we were just taking guesses as to what was going to happen.
Well, because we knew she had to get the Darksaber back sometime.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then Nick dropped that bomb,
I
and
was like,
here we
true
are.
love. True love wins.
700 subscribers later, here we're still talking
Right.
about it. People seem to be semi-fan of that, so maybe we'll work that out afterward.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to cover. So DeVar Bell said, so the scene that Brendan Wayne teased said that Din and Bo would have an intense physical and verbal scene. Was this scene that scene that happened in this episode? Or
It wasn't
physical though, but
It was verbal.
So that's a
wasn't-
good point. I don't know. We
Well,
might
unless
still,
they're talking about body language.
yeah,
was
but why would
She
you say
smiled
physical,
directly at
though?
him. I think
Yeah.
John Havoc or somebody said earlier. She smiled at him when he walked away. Like after he said that, like that's probably
Maybe
the
it's
best look.
Yeah. Maybe they'll have another one.
I still
next
think
episode.
I still think it's coming.
Yeah.
Because why would he say physical? Like that definitely was not. That was all verbal for the most part.
Yeah.
That was all verbal for
Like
the
I
most
said,
part.
unless they're talking about body language. then
Right.
Technically, you could say it was physical.
Physical.
All right, Dustin. Secret Songs 20. Bo, Din together until they write their own song.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
Writing your own song, right, Dustin?
Write your own song, baby.
Yeah.
I like writing
Your
songs.
song hasn't been written.
Dude, I still think he needs to take off his helmet and said, "Screw the
I think-
creed."
Well,
You're
I don't
all
think he's
I
going to
need.
do it that way. I don't know. Something's
the
gonna
cheesiest way ever.
happen though, where he's gonna have to take off his helmet.
I hope so. Like they're gonna have to lock eyes
Lock eyes.
and then lips. Ooh, baby.
Steamy.
Okay.
Hey, that's still
Right.
PG.
Come on, man.
By the way, our fact checker's speaking Spanish in the chat, and so is Juliet Mora. I like it. Muchas
Nice.
gracias. We speak a little bit of Espanol here. Not very much, and clearly I can roll my R's, but I'm
Right.
not going to.
You're not bilingual.
I'm not. I can understand a little bit of Espanol, but
Yeah, don't get me started on not being bilingual.
Right?
yeah. But we speak Dinbo.
we
do.
speak Timbo.
Stuff. I actually found you guys from that video when you said true love. So
Nice.
there you go.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Some
Yes.
people, a lot of
That's
people in the
great.
chat were saying the Dinbo Bowden is what brought him to our channel. So
Yeah. Hey,
we hooked you with some Dinbo.
hooked you
Right.
with some Dimbo, and now you're staying for the fun conversation.
Yeah.
We love it, man. And
Yeah.
I love that
'Cause
Star
this-
Wars reaches all across the world. Like Star Wars is one of the only things
Mhm.
in a lot of ways that can unite everybody. in a
Yeah.
way,
If I'm going
you
to
know?
take anything from the Star Wars Celebration, it's that all of the people, the creators, were continuously blown away at the fandom, the global fandom for Star Wars, and that it's this fandom, you guys in the chat and us yammering on here, that passion that drives these shows to the greatness that they really are,
Right.
and allows them to grow. And once they get people, I mean, we're talking about it for hours and days,
Right.
that's what creates these fandoms, these conversations. That's why they can make more, because they're like, we're just going to set the world ablaze. And Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau know that. That's why they can deliver
Right.
these things and know we're just going to freak out, because that's what Star Wars means to all of us.
Mhm.
And that's what brings us together
Right.
across the galaxy.
And even on that point, like when Dave Filoni was getting emotional during an interview, man, he gets it. He said multiple times, but he really hammered it home. He's like, if I wasn't working on Star Wars, I would still be out in the crowd rooting for Star Wars.
Yep.
I love that. I mean, he's a true fan, and he is the heir apparent. I wish he was in charge of
Yeah.
Star Wars in a lot of ways,
Somebody
with
needs
Jon
to make him in
Favreau
charge.
right there. So,
Yeah.
oh man. But yeah, man, this has been fun chatting with everybody tonight.
Mhm.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that video, click the link in the description below and you can watch the entire episode. And if you liked that video, hit the like button. And if you want to subscribe and watch more, please hit that subscribe. And you'll definitely see plenty more videos from us. Not just me, but 3 other crazy guys out there. So have a great day.